Welcome to a Cincy fan talking with LP, and of course, this is yours truly, LP. Thank you. Appreciate you. No. Hey, you too kind. You're too kind. Appreciate that. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to, and I finally found the software to do it since I got kicked off of the other one. We'll get into that a little bit later, maybe another episode. But first things first, this might sound a little bit wonky this week. Still working some things out, so if it's kind of fuzzy, if it sounds a little bit warbled or something like that, working through some stuff. Let me figure it out. I got y'all covered. You feel me? Um, Thank y'all for sticking and staying. Like I said, couldn't get to y'all last week, but we back with another one this week. Went in a weird lane with this. Not really weird. You know we're gonna talk about the Olympics because we have to. We got to talk about my viewing habits towards this Olympics. We also gonna talk about, you know, pronouncing some names, and we're gonna get into me strolling down memory lane a little bit. First things first, shout out to my kid, my eldest. Happy birthday to you. Turning the big 2-4. We've been through a whole lot of stuff family wise, you know. It's been it's been ups and downs. So, you know, you gotta take these dubs when you can. You know, you gotta celebrate these big moments. So shout out to the kid. Shout out to you, girl. Happy birthday. Live your best life. Enjoy watching Wolverine and Deadpool tonight. Live it up, you feel me? Happy B-Day. Um, so we're gonna jump into this Olympic talk. I'm feeling the Olympics. I always do. It's one of the few times you'll see the entire country united, and it's one of the few times you'll see everybody repping USA. Hey, for these 2 weeks or so, it's all USA. We want to win in ski shooting. I want y'all to win in everything, handball, all that stuff. And the cool thing about the Olympics is, like in our house, you can pretty much turn on anything Olympics wise. We watching it. It don't matter. Um, I do like the live events more so than watching stuff that's already been done, you know, the pre-recorded stuff. The thing is, nowadays, you're gonna know who won pretty much ASAP. So it's best to watch it live. The best part about being a teacher is really don't matter the time zone. We can see all the live stuff, which is cool. I have noticed I've been getting into some stuff, some events that I really didn't think I ever would. I got three for y'all. If y'all can check these out, definitely do that while they're still up. The first one, archery. Man, I'm loving archery. I'm watching whoever shooting against whoever. I watched both of the semifinal matches. I watched the bronze medal match, and I watched the gold medal match. Who was it? South Korea. They won like 10 straight archery titles, y'all. That's insane. That's 40 straight years of dominance. Tell me who? Who? The Celtics could never. Like it's crazy. They're shooting at a target that's 70 meters away. I've done the math for you, don't even trip. That's almost 230 feet away. And they nailing it right in the middle like every time. Like somebody will get like a 7 out of 10, maybe a couple of times. It's insane the accuracy. Let me out there shooting those things off. Nobody will be safe. I'm telling you, people will have to guard their grills if I'm out there. Archery is the stuff. Definitely check that out. Another one, rugby. It's so cool, man. And I know some people like, you don't watch rugby? No, I don't. Not on the regular. I mean, they'll show it on NBC every now and again. I might see it on NBC Sports or, you know, something like that. But I didn't really pay attention to it. It's so cool. I like the fact that since nobody's wearing, you know, helmets or shoulder pads or nothing like that, you don't see any ignorant shots. Like you don't really do that. I also like the fact that you can't throw it forward. You gotta toss it backwards. Like there's really like a rhythm to the way that it goes. The women's U.S. team, they won bronze, which was great. They won on some crazy stuff at the end of the match too. That it was insane. It was crazy. Look it up on YouTube if you can. Um, what was I about to say? Oh, and the fact that the matches are so short. It's like 2 10-minute periods or something like that. Then you out. Imagine if football was like that. Imagine if American football was like 2 10-minute periods and you out the door. Ooh, let me tell you. Save us a whole lot of heartbreak out here. Let me tell you for real. The third one took me back to my old days. Table tennis. Me back in the Boys and Girls Club in Avondale. Shout out to all y'all from Avondale. We in the Boys and Girls Club of Washington Avenue playing table tennis, playing ping pong for our life. Nowhere we as good as the people that I'm watching. They hitting the curves. They accidentally hitting the side of the table on the regular, so I don't know if it's an accident. I mean, it's skilled. I still don't see how they're playing doubles table tennis. I need room. I need space. You got to get out my way, sir, ma'am. Excuse me. I'm throwing this stick right now. I'm throwing this paddle. It was so much fun to see. I'm looking like, man, we need Forrest Gump out here. Hey, I wonder if Forrest Gump ever made the Olympics. What's wrong with me? Scratch that. I don't know. But those are three events that I've really been feeling. A fourth one we haven't seen yet, and I know y'all know where we're about to go with this. Breakdancing. I need to see every breakdance. I need to see the qualifying events. I need to see the knockout stages. I need to see the world doing breakdancing. This this amazes me. I mean, I remember being a youngin in the '80s, seeing people breakdancing. Like, go, go. Now it's an Olympic sport. Hey, you never thought that hip hop could take it this far. Let me tell you. Haven't really been feeling handball. I thought I would because it looks like soccer and it looks like basketball. So I'm like, yeah, we're about to get into this. But it was like, it just felt like it was more than what it was. I mean, maybe I need to watch it more to see if I understand it. But it looked like they were playing hockey and basketball and soccer and field hockey all at the same time. And it was like, hmm, it just didn't do it for me. In men's gymnastics, I don't know if it does it for anybody, and I blame NBC for this. Like I blame the media hype train. It's like the NBA, WNBA in reverse because it's like they threw all of the marketing towards women's gymnastics, and rightfully so. You look at all the stories. Every single woman that was part or girl that was part of the women's team, they went through some stuff to get there. And with the men, it was kind of like, we hope they win. So you're gonna follow the story in the Olympics, and I get that. But it's like, I feel like I don't even know these guys. So you can get to know them by watching it, but it's kind of like what else is on. I don't know. But shout out to the men's gymnastics team because they did win bronze, and that's big. Making the Olympics is big. Like, later for anybody that says, oh, well, they finished in seventh place. No, they made the Olympics. They can tell their kids and their grandkids for the rest of their lives they made the Olympic team. Very few people do that. And for them to get a medal was amazing. I just didn't really feel the storyline. So maybe that was it. So maybe it was just handball that I wasn't feeling. Because the men's gymnastics team was doing some stuff that was unbelievable. So the Olympics is on pretty much for half of August, more or less. Well, the first part of August. Track and field still coming up. They're still doing the hoop and all of that. So the best is yet to come. I still need to see that breakdancing. Let's get to the breakdancing more than anything. So we have an election coming up. They say it's a big one. They're all big ones. It seems like every 4 years we hear this is the biggest election of your life. And I'm like, what about the last one? Was the last one the biggest? So I guess they're all big. I mean, the right to vote is something I don't take lightly because our forefathers fought for that. My mother, sorry, mom, she was born in 1960. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm talking about, the fight for civil rights and things like that is something that was like eons ago. Like, my mother isn't super duper old, and she remembers stuff like this happening. So, I mean, I take the right to vote very seriously. And this may be a small thing, but as a teacher, I feel like this is a very big thing. I also take very seriously just pronouncing people's names right. We had this talk before a couple of years ago about Kamala Harris. And it's messed up that we have to go to this again because you have a lot of people saying her name wrong on purpose. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I think people don't take into account how sensitive we can be about something that you may think is super small. As a teacher, I see this every day, and I take seriously saying kids' names right. I feel like it's a sign of respect. And I've seen some doozies of names, let me tell you. Like, listen to my voice. You have not seen or heard the names that I've heard in my teaching career. I'm not about to put anybody's name out on Front Street because the names are so unique. If I start saying names, there's probably only one or two of these kids around. So I'm not going to do them like that. But some of these names are wild. They're hard to say. And it's not like they're foreign names. No, mom and pop created these names. And it's not on me to be like, wow, that's the weirdest thing I ever heard. You're saying somebody's name is weird. That's not cool. But what you have to do is make an attempt to say it right. And if you can't say it right, you just let them know, like, look, I'm going to give a shot at your name. Let me know if I said it wrong. Then I say the name, and they say, oh, no, you said it wrong, Mr. P. Oh, okay, tell me how to say it. And they tell me how to say it. And then I go, you know what? I'm gonna keep working at it so I say your name right. If I mess up, don't get on my case. Just let me know I messed up, all right? But I am trying to say your name correctly. It makes kids feel really good, like, hey, Mr. P he actually cares about something I go through a lot because I'm not the first person to mess their name up. I can't be. I even ask the kids sometimes, do people say your name's hard to say? Yeah, Mr. P, all the time. You know how to say it though, finally. I've been working at it. That's how I feel it is with Kamala Harris. You have people that are really messing her name up and they're like, oh, I messed up, my bad. Then you got the people she's running against and they are literally saying her name wrong on purpose. Kamala, Kamala. And it's funny, I was telling the wife this actually. It reminded me of back in the day when Louisville decided to have like this campaign about their name. And quick side note, I know a little bit too much about Kentucky, and that's just based on the fact that, we're in Cincinnati. We're basically Kentucky light. I've had so many of my friends from other parts of Ohio say, you live in Cincinnati, Kentucky. Ha ha, very funny. Yeah, that's cute. But we're so close to Kentucky, it's like it was nothing for us to hit across the bridge just on the weekend to go hang out in Newport or usually Louisville, to be honest. We would slide down to Louisville just to kind of hang out and go back up. And then we would meet Louisville kids that would do the same thing, roll up to Cincinnati for the night, you know. And that was just kind of the thing to do. And I remember Louisville had this campaign where they had their name, like Louisville, right in the middle. And then around their name was the pronunciation of all the ways that people say it wrong. Louisville, Louisville, Louisville. They had all of those funny pronunciations of when people say it wrong. I thought that was like the coolest thing because it's like, we're tired of you messing up our name. But instead of us getting on your case, we're going to make fun of it. Not you, but of the different ways to say it. I thought that was really cool, and I saw that Kamala Harris had that same thing in like 2016 or something like that when she was running for Senate. I always thought that was pretty funny. But the thing about it is, it it's one of those things where, as a black man and as a black male teacher, I see it happen to black women so much. And my wife has a very common name that people mess up all of the time. And I'm like, you can find her name at Kings Island. Like when you go look for keychains, her name is usually there. How are you messing this up? And then she'll show them how to spell it and then they'll still mess it up. And I'm like, dude, I would hate to think this is personal, but when you don't take the time to just listen to somebody when they're telling you how to say something that identifies them, it's a little disrespectful. Like it really is. So, and this is not me telling you how to vote or something like that. It's just me saying, let's just take into consideration the fact that it's a little disrespectful to just mispronounce people's names on purpose. I feel like we can agree with that. I mean, I do. And I know somebody's gonna say something like, "Hey, you're a little sensitive there." Nah, it's not really a sensitive thing. It's one of those things where when you see it happen so much, and you see people trying to speak up for themselves, and people won't listen, then that means somebody else has to speak up for them too, because that one person just can't keep going around. And when I say that one person, I mean like any person that this is happening to. They just can't keep going around and telling you one thing and you're not listening. They need allies to tell them the same thing. So if you see it happening, you don't have to go like, hey, microaggression, dude. Like, no, just kind of go like, yo, her name is said like this. This is how she say it. That's it. And usually what would happen is, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, let me file it away. I might mess it up a couple more times. Don't get mad. That's usually my thing. So, I mean, there's that. Try to pronounce names right. That's all I'm saying. Um, yeah, so me going down memory lane. And this will be the last one for me before I slide out. Um, so shout out to my man. I don't know where you at, but shout out to Jim. He had this cool thing called the Friday Night Music Party. I used to shout out. We'll kind of get together and he'd be on Twitch and he would just play like a very eclectic group of songs. Like it'll be stuff rap, we doing folk, you doing reggae, you doing rock. It's like all types of different music. And we'll kind of chit chat while we on Twitch and stuff like that. He doesn't do it anymore. I don't know where he is. I don't know what's going on. But Jim, if you hear this, man, get at me. The email is Cincy_fantalk at yahoo.com. Get at me. He was a real cool dude. So let me know what you up to, man. Let me know. See what's up with you. So on the Twitch, he would have these. I don't want to really call them weird because they weren't weird, but it was always like old stuff. Like one time, it was just like Saturday morning cartoons from like 85, 86 with the commercials on them. And another time, we're watching these guys from England play darts. But it was like real old school stuff. So it kind of got me thinking the other day. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can find some stuff with the commercials on it. Because I'm kind of into that. That's kind of my thing. I end up watching, and I'm not making this up. If you search this, you can find it. The Sunday night lineup for Fox, November of 1993. I kid you not, with the commercials. Now let me tell y'all something. if if you kind of young, if you're in like your 20s or so, maybe even if you're in like your early 30s, you probably don't remember how much of a wasteland Fox was back in the day. When I say a wasteland, I mean you try to watch Fox and you really can't get it because your TV doesn't pick up the signal that well. Like it was that bad. And when you finally do get it and you're watching it, they have The Simpsons and then a whole lot of trash that you really don't care about. Looky here, man. They had Herman's Head, which is basically, if you've seen the cartoon Inside Out, it's basically that, but it's not a cartoon. They had Parker Lewis Can't Lose. All of this stuff was on this Sunday night lineup. I'm like, wow. Now they did show in living color, but this was '93, and by then Keenan Ivory Wayans was gone, Damon Wayans was gone, Ken Wayans was gone. They basically had Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, and a whole lot of people that were mildly funny. So the lineup was trash for Fox. It really was. And if you know the Fox story, you know what happens next. There was one big game changer for Fox: football. When Fox got football, they basically jacked it from CBS. And when they got football, they were on the map because Fox was basically a wasteland for shows. And then they were like, you know what? Let's get some black shows. Let's get some black folks to watch. So then they started showing Martin. Then they started showing New York Undercover. You know, Living Single, great black shows. Then they got football. Then they started taking it all off. That's really what happened. It's messed up. I'm laughing, but that's really what happened. Because the bigger they got when they got football, the less they needed, you know, black viewers, more or less. But watching those commercials and watching these shows just kind of took me way, way back, way back. Yo, they selling cars for like 14,000, y'all. Um, you wouldn't want to be caught in one of those cars now, but they was like 14 G's. The McDonald's extra value meal was $3. I'm like, dude, we was living like that back then? Like that's how it was? I still remember like struggling to get that $3 because I was only like what 10, 11, 12 years old. So I was still struggling to get that three. But I mean, it just really kind of took me back to a time where it wasn't like things were simpler, but I feel like we didn't know as much as we know now. And I got to tell you two things about what I was watching. Number one, yo, it was bad. Like there was a show called The Edge that was on Fox. Jennifer Aniston was in it, and it was like mass people that was just like Dylan and Brandon from Beverly Hills 90210. I mean, they had on the vest and they had on like the little fake ties with the denim jeans. Like it was bad. Like I'm like, wow. They had a Ben Stiller show with like Andy Dick and Janine Garofalo. It was bad. I'm like, Fox really showed this stuff? I'm like, just take me to the commercial. That was my first thing. I'm like, I did not realize how bad these shows were. They were awful. And the second thing, the good shows. There was an episode of Martin on there. There was an episode of In Living Color. There is no way in hell, and I truly mean this. They are not showing these shows nowadays. I think it was like Damon Wayans' last episode on In Living Color. He's playing a character called Handyman. I'm not making this up. He's walking around handicapped fighting crime. And there's all of these handicap jokes and stuff like that. I'm like, do you realize how canceled you would be if you did that? Herman's Head is on and they're making jokes about one night stands and how girls are this and girl. I'm like, wow. I felt like I needed to like wash my hands and my eyes after watching some of this stuff. I'm like, there is no way you could get away with this stuff. Now, granted, that was Fox thing back then. That was what they did. Like Fox was there to shock you. Like Married with Children was one of the most ridiculously ignorant shows ever. It lasted like 8, 9 years on Fox because only Fox would show something like that. So that's kind of their stick. But there's no way these shows are getting shown like that nowadays. Mm-mm. That all types of emails and stuff like that would be the corporate. But long live football because there's no way that I would be sitting here talking about Fox right now if they didn't get football. They would have got pulled out. They would have went the way of the CW or the WB because football is king in America, and they ended up getting football. And then CBS stole NBC's package, and then NBC ended up stealing Sunday night football and making it a big thing. And basically, football runs everything. But if you have some memories about anything back in the day, to be honest, if you're talking early 90s, early 2000s, any memories that kind of make you go, hmm. That's that Arsenio Hall reference right there. If you have anything that kind of makes you think, hit me up, man. We can chop it up and we can talk about it. One last thing before I jet out. You know what? We can just kind of say that for next week because there's more Olympic stuff anyway. So next week we'll go ahead and kind of slide into stuff like that. We'll talk more Olympic stuff. Hopefully there's some track and field because unfortunately your boy will be back in the school building next week. I know, I know. Now school doesn't start until the week after, but we have to go in. We got to do our professional development. We got to get those talks in. I actually have a room this year, which is excellent. So I get to set my room up. I kind of had the kids along to help me with that. So it's time to wake up early. I'm not looking forward to it. Well, I am, like I told y'all, the week before. I'm ready to get the whole teaching thing started again. It's just hard to give up summer. So I'm going to go ahead and live the rest of the week to the fullest. That's definitely the goal. Stay up as late as possible. Wake up as late as I can. If the kids let me. You know how that go. And I'll let y'all know how it go. Let me go ahead and dance to this music real quick before we slide on out. There it is. And we'll switch the music up and see how it goes. But, until we meet again next week, we got a Cincy fan talking with LP. And, of course, this is LP. As always, life is good, y'all. Peace out. We got to clap it in. Yeah. Let me stop playing these sound effects, y'all. But yeah, life is good, y'all.